Civil liberties are being trampled on in your city. People living in fear. He thinks he's above the law.
The Daily Planet criticizing those who think they're above the law is a little hypocritical. What'd you say? Considering every time your hero saves a cat out of a tree, you write a puff piece editorial about an alien who could burn the whole place down.
Boys! Bruce Wayne meets Clark Kent. I love it. I love bringing people together. How are we?
Lex?
Hi, hello, Lex. It is a pleasure. Ow! Wow, that is a good grip. You should not pick a fight with this person.
Hey Jesse, welcome to Shortlist.com.
Thank you.
So the movie's great, it's brilliant, and your portrayal of Lex is so fascinating. One fascinating aspect of that is his family's history. He almost seems burdened by it.
Yeah, I mean, as an actor, you're kind of always looking for some kind of helpful backstory to explain, especially a character like this who seems so eccentric. But luckily in this movie and in this wonderful script by Chris Terrio, I was given the kind of all the answers about what this character's backstory was. And you're right, it really does end up creating his persona because my character looks at his very powerful father, who's not in the movie, who is dead, and who's very powerful, but also very cruel. And I think I almost, in some kind of perverse Freudian parallel, associate Superman with my father. And I say, well, if Superman is all-powerful, then he cannot be all good in the same way my father was.
Yeah, it's definitely the big argument from Lex's point of view is man versus God. It's this, you're trying to pit them against each other, the antagonist behind it all. Do you feel that the fact that he's obsessed with this mythology sort of stands him apart from other Luthors that we've seen before? Because obviously a lot of it for like the classic Gene Hackman is about greed and rulership and money. For you, did you think it was an interesting aspect to have something a bit more in that?
Yeah, I guess my character would be more of kind of a dogmatic ideologue rather than greedy. I think he probably doesn't care as much about his own kind of fortune as he does care about this perverse set of ideological tenets that I think he feels the probably burden to exact. I mean, I think he looks at Superman as a false god, and he thinks that, well, if Superman exists, then we are all threatened.
The greatest gladiator match in the history of the world. Son of Krypton versus Bat of Gotham.
You're psychotic.
That is a 3-syllable word for any thought too big for little minds.
Zack Snyder's said recently that he originally included Riddler and the Joker in the film, but obviously took them out because he felt there were too many villains. Oh. Would you, in a sequel, do you think there'd be space for the three of you? Do you think Lex could be exist in the same world or indeed film as those two?
Yeah, I mean, my character has a really big ego, so I think that, for him to exist with any other person is difficult because he is so, he's so kind of eccentric and dogmatic that I think, he'd probably feel threatened. But, I mean, that's what makes him interesting. He's in a world with Superman and Batman, and he feels like this kind of real... I think he feels like a real sense of envy.
So he wouldn't be joining forces, you don't think, with those guys? He'd more like want to conduct his villainy in a solo style sort of role?
Yes, probably. Yeah.
But what do you think your Lex would make of Donald Trump?
Some of the themes of the movie are kind of things that we discuss in mass culture. Things about power and corruptibility and things we talk about and kind of and we reference big legitimate national organizations. So I think, I don't know, maybe the movie will have some kind of relevant kind of reflection in mass culture.
There's probably a deleted scene of a massive wall being erected in Mexico that Snyder probably had to...
Well, Krypton.
Brilliant. Well, that kind of rounds it up, and thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, nice to meet you.
Cheers.
Do you know the oldest lie in America? That power can be innocent.